Caleb Williams is going to be the favorite to win Rookie of the Year this year. Now, whether or not he does it, he's got to go out and earn the award, but he will be the favorite to win Rookie of the Year this year. You look at the upcoming NFL draft class, in all likelihood, the top 7 picks are all going to be offense, maybe even more. But I'll say at least the top 7 picks, in all likelihood, are going to be offensive players. If Caleb Williams wins Rookie of the Year this year, how many wins will the Chicago Bears have?
10 or 11 or 12.
I feel pretty good that if he wins Rookie of the Year in this year's class, that this team is winning at least 11 games.
And you know what? This is lofty.
On a 4th place schedule, too.
I'm really hesitant to pin this, and I don't want to say that it's my expectation. I don't think it's unreasonable if people want to expect Rookie of the Year.
No, he's going to be the favorite.
There is not another... A, he's the most talented player in the draft. B, he's the favorite in the betting market. Like, that's going to happen. C, there is not another rookie offensive player that will be walking into a situation where they will be immediately throwing to 2 proven 1,000-yard wide receivers, both who have made Pro Bowls, I believe, with a full running back room, retooled offensive line, the 2 picks in the top 10 if they choose to use them both. I don't think they will. You might have 3 picks in the top 50. Like, it's hard for me to say another offensive rookie is going to step into a more favorable situation. If he is 60% of what they're saying he is, he will win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. And that's why I think if he does go out and play at a Rookie of the Year level, which is not outrageous to ask out of him, he's going to be the favorite. This team is in a situation to win 11-plus games.
I mean, you just think about, like, I was making the argument this morning. You won 7 games with effectively QB 28.
If this guy can play at a 16 to 18 level.
Think about the fact you won 7 games with the single worst fourth-quarter quarterback in football in a year where Zach Wilson started games. You won 7 games. If this guy comes in and he's 10 to 15% better at quarterback than Justin Fields, which would make him, what, QB 20? Mm-hmm. You're winning 10 games. Yeah. This is the lowest baseline need.
Not only did you win 7 games this year, but you had 3 monumental collapses. Now, you can also point it the other way and say, well, you also won a game with outscoring an offensive touchdown. But even if you tack on 2 more to this, and guess what? Like, Minnesota, probably not going to be very good this year.
It might be actively bad.
Like, they're going to look like Minnesota that we saw at the end of the year. The Minnesota that you did beat at the end of the year. That's more of what the Minnesota that we're probably going to see this year.
And I know that there's talk Minnesota could go up, get a quarterback, Jaden Daniels. That's the popular name. Maybe Minnesota trades to 3. You know what it's going to cost them? Justin Jefferson. So tell me how they're going to be some monster threat. Like, I get it. The NFC North is playing out in a way that it's going to look quite a bit like the AFC North. Now, the Lions have had a little bit of an underwhelming free agency. Brad Holmes and company have made a declaration. We would like to continue to build through the draft. I think that's dangerous when you get to where they are. I think you should take the opportunities to get better. But hey, Bears fans, look at that positively. There's a team in the division that's really good right now and doesn't exactly have the pedal to the floor to become a legit bona fide Super Bowl contender. The Packers made some nice moves. Xavier McKinney at safety, I love that move. But they haven't done a ton.
They've got young guys that are going to be going into second and third
Jayden
years,
Reed,
which I
player.
think is
Jordan
important.
Love popped. You're running back. But, like, I'm sorry, man. Moving off of Aaron Jones for Josh Jacobs, I just don't get it as a process.
To me, that's musical chairs.
To me, it's a downgrade.
It doesn't do anything. It doesn't move me either way.
I don't know that the Pack, like, you're going to be in a division where you've got, I think, 3 good teams in the Bears, the Lions, and the Packers. And I don't think that either the Lions or the Packers did enough.
Well, here's what you're going to have.
One with a bullet. Now, the Lions are because they earned the right. But I'm not going to sit here and say I don't think the Bears can get themselves into that conversation.
You're going to be walking among those 3 teams that you laid out there. You're going to be walking into a situation, though, where you do have the best defense of the 3.
Yeah.
And so if the offense can be anywhere within striking range of the defense, And it's going to largely center on the type of season that Caleb Williams has. But if they are, you probably are going to have the best of those three. And it's going to be completely contingent on how Caleb Williams adapts and meshes at the NFL level.
And I don't think, like, if the Bears go and get Jared Verse, Tyler, he might be my favorite player in this draft. That includes Caleb Williams. I think Jared Verse is an absolute game wrecker. That's like, if you're asking me what I want to happen at 9, ideally pipe dream. You trade that sucker down, get yourself in Jared Verse territory, and you get that player. And you set him up as a bookend with Montez Sweat. I think it works right now because you put a game wrecker opposite a game wrecker.
Even if you take him at 9, I'd
be
with it.
fine with it.
Yes.
You get a game wrecker opposite of a game wrecker. You put yourself in a situation where when the money is done for Montez Sweat, you roll it right over to Jared Verse and you do it again. To me, that's the process. If they do that, I think you improve a defense that ended up top 10 last year. The Packers, if you want to say that they'll improve because they have talent, and our defensive coordinator, Joe Barry, was a functioning moron, I'm good with it. But are you going to go from, 25 to 8? It's an awfully hefty leap. Xavier McKinney helps, but I don't know if it helps that much. The Lions are a disaster, and especially in the secondary. Sure, they made an adjustment. They got the corner out of New Orleans. Name escapes me, but I don't think they made some huge move that's going to make them miles more impressive.
No.
Could they continue to hit on their draft picks at an astronomical rate? Sure, but I don't expect the Lions to go from the 30th defense to top 10. You're probably the only team in this division with a top 10 defense.
Yeah. I mean,
Minnesota, can they turn the trick again with Brian Flores?
And you swap out Daniil Hunter, you bring in Jonathan Grenard, so probably a little bit of a drop off there in terms of production. But yeah, you're probably going to have the best defense in this division. It just now what remains to be seen is where does your offense line up?
Competent quarterback play.
You've got the pieces. Nobody has been parachuted in from the number 1 overall pick into a better situation than this one.
And that's where people get mixed up. Oh, you're putting all this pressure on Caleb to be great. He's got to come in and he's got to lead us to the playoffs. Dude, he's got to be competent. A competent quarterback in an offense that's set up the way this one is, if Keenan Allen can stay healthy, if Cole Kmet can stay healthy, DJ Moore, obviously, it's tailor-made.
And from every report that we've heard out of the combine, and it's not just the Bears, every team that met with Caleb Williams was blown away by the IQ on this guy.
Yeah.
Him talking through his game and all that stuff in a lot of those 15-minute interview processes. Everyone was blown away by the student of the game that he is, too.
All that talk about me, player, bad attitude, bad character, that has only come from fans and social media. Not a peep out of anybody who actually works in the league. And you can bet that if there were real concerns, teams would be leaking it.
Yeah. For sure.